Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Brennan Poole, the newest. He's heading, of course, to Alpha Prime Racing in 2024 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, driving the number 44 Chevrolet. How's it going?
It's going good, man. Thanks for having me on, Casey. It's going to be fun getting to chat a little bit with you about my announcement and of course racing next year. I'm super excited and grateful to have another opportunity to race full time in the Xfinity Series.
So, just kind of talk about first off, how did this deal get put together?
Well, it's crazy to think about this because it feels like just yesterday I made my first Xfinity start, but I'm coming up on 10 years now in one of the top 3 series of the sport. So, over time, you kind of know a lot of the different team owners and people in the garage area because you've been in the garage for so long. And naturally, you have these conversations throughout the season with different people on what you're doing or what you want to do or what are your plans, what can you do. So, I think as the season went on, I had many conversations with a lot of different teams. And of course I raced in all 3 series last year on Cup, Xfinity, and Truck. So, you're talking to a lot of different people. I think, as the year went on, I got to spend a little bit more time with Tommy Joe Martins, talk more about the direction that his program was headed in. And then, of course, I felt like I was really wanted in that situation from Tommy Joe and Caesar and everybody involved in the team. And that made me feel really good. I think anytime you go anywhere, you want to be in a situation where the team and the people around you believe in you and your abilities and what you're capable of. And there's like a trust factor. It's really difficult as a driver when you drive for a team that may not necessarily take you on as kind of like, the leader in the role. And when you're driving a race car, it's really difficult to get what you need out of the car when, when you're not being listened to. So I felt really wanted in that situation. So the more that we kept talking, it just started to feel more like a place that felt good to me. And then, of course you have to have the sponsorship money and everything like that has to work out and line up just right. And fortunately in this situation, in this deal, everything worked out. And, I've feel grateful and I'm very excited. We've got great partners this year with Finance Pro Plus, which, they're a financial company. They help a lot of other business owners and big companies to small companies, doesn't matter. They've been doing a lot of different things. So, and of course, Mac Doors, who've been a partner of mine for the last couple of years, and they're just a great family business. They're a garage door wholesaler, and we've built a relationship over the last couple of years, and we're like family now. So it's been awesome to have them continue their relationship with us. And I think it's going to be a really fun year. I'm excited to work with Tommy Joe and Alpha Prime and everybody over there. We've already kind of started. Like I was telling you before we jumped on, I was at the shop yesterday and already getting fitted in the car, and I'm just really looking forward to it. It's like 90 something days away, 96 days now or something till we race, something like that. So I'm counting them down.
Yeah, I have a countdown on my phone too. It's I think it is 92 days until
there you go. 92 dadays. So it's going to be here before we know it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be here before we know it. So I'm just I'm excited about it. But you need a lot of things to go right in these deals. You need a lot of things to come together at the right moment. And timing is everything. And I feel like Tommy Joe's team is Alpha Prime, they're only a year or so behind what I see where Jordan Anderson's team is. And if I can help in some way, be the guy that helps, make the team make a step towards that and in the right direction, then I want to do that. And I want to be the guy that helps continue to build this program for them. I think they've done a great job over the last couple of years. Obviously, I think, it was a difficult year last year, so many different drivers, so many different people in and out. I think consistency is what's going to be important this year for Alpha Prime. And, we got Ryan Ellis full time. Him and I get along great. We've known each other for a really long time. We raced legend cars against each other back when we were 13, 14 years old. So, I'm excited to work with him, but I think just having the 2 full-time guys in there every week, working with the same guys, working on the same cars, building that consistency is going to be key. And I really feel like we're going to be able to do some pretty special things things next year. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. So, I know last year you got to go full time, I think first time in a long time.
Yeah.
What was that like for you to run all the races?
Well, it just meant a lot. I've been fighting for so long to claw my way back into the sport and get into a good situation. After 2020, I felt like I was sort of the best I've been in my career. I was, racing every truck race I was allowed to race with running Cup full time. And the experience I was getting and just being in the seat that much was just making me better. And granted, I wasn't in a Cup car that could really contend, and the truck team, we were a top 12-ish team, and we showed that. Ran second at Charlotte, several top tens, a sixth at Las Vegas. So we were in the mix, but we just didn't quite have everything that we needed. But we made it, man. We made it work, and we had a lot of fun together. It was a great year, but after that year, I felt like I was the best that I had ever been, and through COVID and stuff, I lost a partner and ended up losing probably one of what was going to be my biggest opportunity in my career. And, people close to me know what that deal was, but it was a pretty solid cup opportunity. So I was, kind of bummed when that happened. I ended up breaking my wrist that winter. I was supposed to go and run the 30 truck. The goal was to run the 30 truck full time in 2021. After the Cup deal fell apart and I broke my wrist, so I couldn't race. I had surgery and everything. I got a plate in my left wrist. I ended up racing for him one time at Texas, and just to see what it was like. My wrist was still pretty hurt at that time, to see if I could do it. And everything went smooth. And then unfortunately, I just didn't get any more opportunities the rest of that season. And then the next year, of course, at that point, I was thinking, I'm not going to race anymore. I was in Arizona. My mom had passed away. It was a very difficult time. And I was like, what, man, God, what am I going to do? I don't, Mike Harmon called me and they needed somebody to qualify the car in the show and try to make some races and stuff. And I really didn't have anything going on, and my mom had just passed away. So it was a difficult time for me. And I thought, well, nothing better than just getting in the race car, being at the track, being around something familiar to me, to maybe help me, mentally through a difficult time. So I was grateful for Mike for that. But we went and we made some races. Some of them we missed. It was it was a very challenging year, but I was just happy to be at the track. But through that, I got the opportunity with JD. I was qualifying Mike's car at Darlington, and then, we had made the race, but qualifying didn't finish. It rained out. We ran, but it was a heck of a lap. And that's kind of what got me the opportunity at JD's. They ended up giving me a few opportunities at the end of 2022. And we went to Texas, and I was just grateful to have an opportunity to drive for them. And we were running in the top 10 and got caught up in a crash with John Hunter and Allgaier at the end. So a lot of speed there, but I think still maybe some questions about us moving forward. And then we went to Miami, and we just had a great day. I mean, I ran 12th all day, all afternoon. We had a bad green flag stop and ended up 14th. But I think from that moment, we both kind of felt like, Johnny and myself, that this is something we wanted to do together the next year. So I kind of knew shortly after that race, like headed into Phoenix, the last race of the year that I was running for them, that I was going to drive there the next year. So, and then just having the full-time opportunity to get the reps and the consistency to be in the car every week was huge. And I think it gave me it helped lead to the opportunity to me to get the Cup opportunities that I had this year, which were huge. I think it was big to have an opportunity to drive the next gen car. I'd never driven one before. And I think to do some of the things that we were able to do together, not having any of the experience. I mean, the other guys have been driving the car for the last, couple years. So it's, we were at a disadvantage, but I felt like I learned some stuff pretty quickly and put together some solid runs for, what we had to work with. And it was fun. So without that, I would not have had the opportunity that I have for next year. I've got to, have the opportunity to race every week, meet new sponsors, try to build on the opportunities that Johnny had given me for last year. And yeah, things worked out, and I've got a pretty solid opportunity with Alpha Prime next year. And I'm just looking forward to make the most of it. I know if I can just, execute on the things that I can control and, nail restarts, nail pit road, no mistakes on the track, that I can put ourselves in position for some pretty outstanding runs. So I'm excited to see what we can do together. I think it's just going to be, man, I'm just excited about it. I just think it's going to be a fun group of guys, fun team, and it's going to be fun working with them.
Yeah. Do you think you mentioned cup starts there? Do you see yourself running cup races next year?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things at play there that could go my way or not go my way. But I feel like I will at this point, but you never know what could happen over the off season. The next couple of months will be very important in deciding that and what's going to happen. But yeah, I'm hopeful that right now I'll get to make some cup starts next year and continue to build on what we build on off of together this past year when I ran for RWR. So we'll see what happens. But for now, at least I know going into the off season, I've got this full-time Xfinity ride, and my focus is really there in trying to make the most of that opportunity. And if I get some cup starts along the way, then I do, and I'll try to make the most of it and learn as much as I can and soak up as much as I can about that new car, and continue to learn it just so that I can grow in case there's more opportunities for me in the future over there. But that's part of the sport. It's difficult. It's a challenge. It's the reason why there's only 36 guys that get to do it on Sunday and 38 guys in the world that get to race in the Xfinity race on Saturday. It's so rare to be one of those guys in general that sometimes, I try to just look at it that way. Every race car driver, every person in the garage wants to be in a more competitive situation. They all want to win races. I've won races my entire career. I'm won 220 races and 9 championships. I want to win, but the way things are now, you gotta be in the right situation at the right time with the right funding behind you, in order to get the job done. So for me, it's just about working towards that again, and trying to make the most out of my opportunities and put myself in a position to get an opportunity again in a good team at a top team. I think I've had a pretty decent opportunity before when I was young, and I was racing 4 ARCA races beforehand, and then now I'm racing against some of the best guys in the world. It was a big jump for me, a big learning curve, and by the time that I felt like I was ready to win races, all that stuff kind of blew up. So I feel like I'm again a driver that's kind of at the best part of my career, and I just I'm trying to make the most of the opportunities and get some more.
Yeah. Okay. So, with this year upcoming, I know we don't know where all the rides yet,
Mhm.
but just the Xfinity overall is going to be really competitive next year. It's just keeps like the series is just getting more and more competitive. What's it just like to be a part of it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I think it's crazy to think that we're like kind of the only series, the highest form of motorsports in the world, that's like sending cars home still. It's it's nuts. I mean, and you just have to be perfect. Everybody in the field are, there's some really talented guys in the field. And when you put really talented guys in the midfield, it just makes that fight so much more challenging. But it also makes it really fun because the racing is awesome. In the midfield, it's nuts. We're slide jobbing guys, we're running against the fence, we're beating and banging, we're making stuff happen. I wish you get to see it there in person when you're there live, but I wish some more of that racing and stuff got shown on TV because man, it is just nuts. But it makes it a lot of fun, and you're racing against really good guys, so we're all learning from each other and all continuing to get better, which is fun. But getting to go up against some of the best guys in the world is just man, it's there's just something about it. There's nothing better than that, right? And it makes it incredibly fun on those days where you have a great day and you're in a car that probably should run 20th, and you run 12th or you run 10th. It's like, I mean, it's crazy. So those are the days that you're hunting for every single week, and trying to um put yourself in a position to make something good happen. But yeah, I mean, it's tough, but it's also fun. I mean, and I think you got to have all these teams that are fighting in the midfield. They got to get through. We run Daytona first, and then we go to Atlanta, which are like two like big crazy wild races. So you really need to get through those two races and then go to Vegas and have a strong solid run. And then I think our year will be good. And you turn around and run a road course real quick too with Coda shortly after that. So points wise, you really got to be smart through the first couple of races, and that's for everybody that's fighting in the midfield. You'd like to come out of Vegas and be in the top 20 in points, which would be huge. But we'll see. I'm hopeful that Daytona will be a good one for us, but it's one of those races that's just wild, and then turn around and go to Atlanta too. It's also crazy. So fortunately, I've had some good runs in Atlanta, so out on the repave. So I'm not too worried about any of it, to be honest. Just try to get through the first couple of races and clean and good solid results and move on. And for whatever reason, the road courses have been great to me all last year. And really, anytime I've ran Xfinity, I've had great finishes at the road courses. We had a 12th at Watkins Glen this year, 15th at Road America, 17th at the Roval. I mean, all solid top 20 finishes for our JD team when I drove for them last year. So I'm looking forward to those races. I think those are races that as a team we can capitalize on and have some strong finishes. I know, Sage drove for Alpha Prime at those races last year at a lot of them, and they were just super fast, very competitive. So I'm looking forward to those. Those are ones I'm like circling on the calendar. But of course, the short tracks too, and some of the old worn out mile and a half seem to be really good places for me. So I can't wait for Kansas and Homestead and Richmond, Bristol, those places. I think we'll be really able to shine there too.
Yeah. So of course, what plans for the off season and getting ready for because it will be here before you know it.
Yeah, I'm going up to New Jersey here in a few days. My dad's coming into town, and I'm going up there to do Thanksgiving with Lindsay's entire family. So we're gonna have some fun with that. My dad's never been up to where she's from, and I wanted him to see her hometown and all that kind of stuff. And so we're gonna do that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Stay up there for a little bit of time. I've got some friends that live in New York City, so probably gonna go try to make a stop in there, get some pizza, hang out, do some of those fun things I like to do over the off season. I spend a lot of time up there. So we're gonna after that, I'm got a Mac Doors Christmas party. December 9th. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to party with all those guys and get ready for Christmas. And then I'm going to the Bahamas with my sister, her husband, Lindsay, my dad. Since my mom passed away, Christmas was like a huge thing for us at our house. It was everything's decorated, wild, the normal moms who are into Christmas type deal. And so we've started just going away on like a vacation all together to celebrate Christmas. So we're doing that again this year. Going to do it in the Bahamas, so should be a lot of fun. I've never been to the Bahamas. It's going to be my first time, so I'm excited about that. And then I'm going back up to New Jersey and New York, man. Going to do second Christmas and New Year's and hang out. I got some friends that are coming in. We've turned second Christmas into like a party in a way. We eat way too much pizza, but and drink wine and have Italian food and everything like that. It's just it's the best. So I'm gonna have a bunch of my friends that when you're racing and you race 33 weeks across the whole entire year, it's just you don't have a lot of time for anything. And when you get a break, you don't really want to go and do anything. You kind of want to be at home because you're never at home. So this is kind of our time to see some of our friends, Lindsay and I, and hang out with some family and have a good time and let loose a little bit. So we're gonna do that over the New Year's, our second Christmas, which will be fun. And then of course, man, we come back here and you're like already getting ready for Daytona with photos and media day and all that stuff at the end of January. So it just goes real quick. And I will tell you, you guys probably will see me at Disney World before the Daytona race. It's Lindsay's birthday, like the 15th, and we raced the 17th, I think. So it's like, and it's always that way every year. It's like on her birthday we're racing. So we go down there. I got a couple of friends that one of my best friends, Thomas Keene, shout out, buddy, is a security guard at Disney. So we get a little bit different treatment when we go there and have fun and go around the park and skip lines and do all that stuff. So it's so much fun. So I'm excited about that. It's like, how do you start a race season off better than going to Disney World and going to race Daytona? I mean, can't beat that, So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about this little break. It was needed. We've been crazy busy the last several months leading into the end of the season. And then of course my announcement at the Hall of Fame last week. It's been busy, busy, busy. I feel like we've been going straight for like 18 weeks straight, but that's just part of it. I wouldn't want it any other way, but we're going to celebrate and enjoy knowing that I have a job before Thanksgiving and Christmas. I don't think that's ever happened for me in my career. So I'm just going to enjoy it and hang out with family and try to just have a good time.
Absolutely. All right. Brennan Poole, thank you so much for the time. As always, maybe we'll talk to you again, but right before the season starts.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having me on, Casey.